Welcome to my channel. This show stems from my deep desire to help those struggling from pain. Drawing on my training in health science and clinical social work, I've recently published Unwinding Pain, a book chronicling my recovery from complex regional pain syndrome, also known as CRPS. It offers affordable, accessible, science-based strategies for immediate relief. These YouTube episodes will guide you in incorporating these strategies into your daily life. Greetings. Thank you for inviting me into your house. Whether you got to this show because you read about it on Instagram or if the YouTube algorithm got you here, I'm really happy to connect. If you found this show because you're in chronic pain, this is a place for you. I lived for 30 long years with chronic pain, and my story started in 1986 when I was hit by a drunk driver. Unfortunately, I developed something called reflex sympathetic dystrophy. Today, it's known as complex regional pain syndrome. Back in 1986, they didn't know how to treat it, and it was really hard getting a diagnosis. My doctors stuck it out with me, and it was trial and error, and I was actually a guinea pig and had some early surgeries that ended up devastating my nervous system. So it actually spread what I have, burning pain. The burning pain went from the left side of my neck all the way down my shoulder. I lost the use of my dominant hand, which my left hand, and then down to my left leg, down to my left foot, and spread to my right foot. So that was the state I was in after my treatment for complex regional pain syndrome. So I was left adrift in 1988 because I had 2 years of treatment. And then the doctors threw their hands up and said, well, you're going to have courage and learn how to live with this. And that's what I did. And fast forward, I lived with it, in which I will explain how I live with it today. But fast forward to 2010, and that's when I discovered neuroplasticity. And that's what I'm going to be talking about through other shows that hopefully you will click into over the next weeks. So neuroplasticity actually is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections through life. And that's important because I'm sitting here pain-free at the age of 72. Again, I was only 33 when I was in the car accident. So I lived for 30 years until I was 63 with burning pain throughout my body. And now I sit before you pain-free. So this show has grown out of my desire to reach out to people who are living with chronic pain because I know what it's like to be awake in the middle of the night, just lying there in bed in agony. Your loved ones don't understand your pain. Your doctors may have said to you, it's all in your head, and you're just beside yourself. And so I want you to know, I know that life. I lived that life. I lost a career. I lost a marriage. Okay, that was my sad story. The happy story is I have a flourishing, wonderful career nowadays, and I've been happily married now for 24 years. And of course, I did marry my current husband when I still had the pain. So he stuck it out with me until, today. It's wonderful. We have a wonderful relationship. And today, because I'm in the world of pain coaching, he often says to me, I wish I knew how to support you better. I didn't understand how much pain you were in. So in our future shows, I will be talking about how do you talk to your loved ones to have them understand your condition, whatever it is, whether it's, CRPS, if it's pain of lupus, frequent migraines. I mean, there's so many different conditions in the body that cause pain. And one thing I want to say about complex regional pain syndrome, which is also known by its initial CRPS, it has been rated as one of the top level pain conditions. But this is not a contest to say this pain is worse than your pain. No, that's pain is pain. I say pain is a 4-letter word. Let's talk about, rather than my pain level is so high, let's start focusing on my comfort level is really rising now, which is a good thing. Let's get away from talking about pain. Okay, we're going to talk about seeking comfort, increasing comfort levels. We're aiming towards high comfort levels. All right. So a little bit more about my story. I have been through the surgeries to increase my comfort. I've even lived on opioids. I actually had prescribed fentanyl, high levels of fentanyl, and that did not take care of the burning pain. I lived on the old fashioned antidepressants called tricyclics because that was supposed to help nerve pain. All it did was put on weight and dried out my mouth horribly. And thank goodness for an angel of a dental hygienist who said to me one day, Bonnie, your mouth is very dry. That means you're at risk for cavities. Please use some lozenges that you could buy over the counter to keep moisture in your mouth. Now, not enough doctors or pharmacists tell patients when they pick up their prescriptions that may cause dry mouth. Everything from opioids to antihistamines can dry out your mouth. And who needs to have bad dental problems on top of chronic pain? So please pay attention to your dental health. All right. So, why I'm doing this show? I'm doing this show because I know what it's like to be in the dark room at night or during the day when everyone's going off to work and having a life, and you no longer go out to lunch with friends, you no longer have fun in your life, and you're just miserable. So I wanted to be a place that you could click on and say, okay, I'm going to listen to what Bonnie has to say today. Now, I'm doubly challenged to do this show because I don't have technology background. And I've already had my voice compromised from that experimental surgery back in the 80s. And to make it even more challenging is that I caught COVID a few months ago, and now I'm having bronchial spasms. So my voice is doubly affected. But I want to communicate with you. That's how much I believe in you, that I'm going to help you feel better with self-care. And so, to answer questions that often come in, how did you survive those 30 years until you discovered neuroplasticity? And I'm going to share with you my comfort cake approach to life. Okay, this is a prop, of course, and symbolizes a comfort cake. Every night when I'd lie there in bed and I'd wonder how I was going to get through the next day, I would start layering mentally my cake. I said, in the morning, I'm going to listen to some music, my favorite music. Growing up in the 60s, of course, my music is the 60s and 70s. But you should pick your favorite music and start your day listening to the music. And then I got a little bird. I'm allergic to cats and dogs. And I knew if I had a reason besides getting my son off to school, and instead of going back to bed, I would have to clean my bird cage and interact with my bird. That gave me a purpose. And I desperately needed a purpose in my life beyond the trying to get rid of my pain, since there was no answers for me at the time. So I had my birds, and then my birds I ended up getting into the larger birds over time, but that's a whole other story. But pets are really important. And I'm not saying that you need to be a pet owner. I'm just giving you that as an example of having a reason to get up, having a purpose. And in future episodes, we will be talking more about having purpose in your life, which is really important when you have chronic pain. And very rarely do you hear anyone in the pain world talking about having purpose in your life. And you come back to this show, and I'm going to help you find purpose. And that's going to turn on a whole new light about how to live a life where you'll thrive. And your comfort levels are going to improve. All right? Because we're talking about improving comfort levels. We may talk sometimes about turning down your pain volume, but we're just not going to be talking about being a level 7 or an 8 in your pain, because then you're just dwelling in the pain area. So I want you to consider the comfort cake. The good news is you're not going to gain any inches around your waist. Okay? So I'd love to see you back here, and take care for now. Bye-bye. I understand what it's like to live with chronic pain, as I shared in today's video. As a person certified in advanced pain rehabilitation, I'm well aware of the financial burden that treatment can impose. That's why I'm offering affordable, science-based strategies to help improve your comfort levels in my videos. Please hit the like button to help this show grow, and leave a comment about topics you're interested in. Since you welcome me into your home, I'd like to extend an invitation for you to visit bonnielester.com and schedule a complimentary Zoom meeting with me. I'd love to learn more about your specific pain challenges. But remember, pain recovery isn't a destination, it's a journey. Keep unwinding that pain one step at a time.